I'm bringing back the posse in a different form when I'm the mayor. You're going to have a mayor that understands law enforcement in this town, and you're going to get a sheriff that I can work closely with, which will be a great combination because the mayor has a lot to say about public safety. So I'm here to protect the people, defend the people, and that's why I'm running for office. And I will do a great job, especially in public safety. Rio Verde, I'm the one that brought that up. That's a big issue that you have, and it's right. So I want to be mayor again, and I will do things as mayor. I have my own plans, a private police department, an official police department, or whether we should keep the sheriff's office. They sent 3 detectives downtown. Those detectives should be here investigating. I don't want to hear any excuses from the politicians or anything. They should be here. And you're going to see a big change in public safety when I'm the mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to question number 3. The Community Economic Development Strategy calls for the creation of a new downtown strategy consistent with current economic trends. Over the past 4 months, town staff has hosted focus group meetings, conducted surveys, and held an open house event to garner feedback from residents about what should be prioritized in the new strategy that will be presented to town council later this year. What is your vision for the downtown area, and what will you do to attract new development and businesses? We will start with Councilmember Friedel.
So, the last several years, the town has put $6 million into the downtown area. That came from our economic development, Amanda Jacobs. What our vision is for the downtown area? Look, I've got a list of almost 30 businesses that have gone out of business in recent years in this town. We have to address that and do something to fill vacancies in the downtown area and continue to support the small businesses in this town. Economically, almost 70% is supported by our consumer base. We're sales tax driven town. Roughly 50% of our income is driven from sales tax driven in this town. When we had COVID money here in this town, we got $11.2 million. You know how much we gave to support our businesses? 2.6%. To me, that's kind of a slap in the face for our business community. I think we need to review our policies, procedures. If that ever happens again, we need to step up to the plate and support our small businesses in this town. And the downtown strategy plan calls for more benches, park-like structures, shade structures along the avenue, and that sort of thing. We've heard from some of the businesses down there that they want to have more entertainment venues down there. So one suggestion might be, let's try closing the avenue once a month and generate some activity in our downtown area. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Joe Arpaio.
Well, this is special to me, this problem. Businesses, I own 4 businesses and property in this town. So I have skin in the game about business. This is anti-business. It always has been. That's going to change. The Chamber of Commerce is trying to do the best they can. It's a tough problem and situation. Try to get permits from this town. We have to make it more friendly, easier to open the business. And by the way, when they brag around here that we got the 5 new businesses, they forget to say they may have 5 new ones, but 10 are leaving. They're leaving every day this town because of the bureaucracy in this council that we have today. So that's going to change big time when I'm the mayor. And I will always support private businesses and even development if it's done right. That's what my promise is if I'm the mayor.
Thank you. Question number 4. Oh, I am so sorry.
You're fired.
Mayor Jenny Dickey.
I appreciate that. I noticed when we answered the Times question, it was all very similar. So I think we all have a pretty nice vision of what we want to see downtown: shade, lights, Wi-Fi, maybe music. One of the things I'm hoping is that we can get, we talked about this, a pet relief station, so that, you know, when we have our live music and the kids are there and they're sitting on the ground, it'd be great for the turf to be a safe environment for everybody. So I'd like to do that. We were looking at putting a restroom there too, but at this point it's just a little too cost prohibitive, but we're going to put some signage and do some other things. Speaking of signage, we're looking at wayfinding signs, which I think is a good way to help get that whole downtown. I don't think people think of Parkview necessarily or some of those other streets as part of it, but it all is. And if we can get that connectivity going with, you know, something cool, something that makes it the district. We're getting that vibe now, we're getting that Friday vibe going on, and some extra events that are going on. The pet show, fashion show was pretty cool. So just things like that keep everybody involved. I'm certainly not hearing or aware that there are people having issues with trying to start their businesses or anything that the town is doing. I just asked somebody about that today, and I found that we're quite satisfactory. So I'm not too concerned about that being the issue. But we have to get residents to live here. We need full-time residents. If you want to be business friendly, you want to get their customers. So it all blends in with development and such. And thank you.
Thank you. Now on to question number 4. Maintenance and repairs of our streets have been underfunded since the town's inception in 1970. There is a projected need of $50 million to fix roads that are in C, D, and F condition. Road conditions will continue to deteriorate if action is not taken, which will result in a higher overall cost to address the problem in the future. The Citizens Advisory on Streets Committee produced a report in June of 2023 recommending a fix-all-now approach to Town Council. Do you agree with the committee's recommendation? If so, how would you fund it? If not, what alternative strategy would you propose? We'll start with Joe Arpaio.
Are you talking about the streets?
Yes, I am.
Okay. That's a big problem. Been hearing about it for years. Maybe they ought to readjust their financial policies to get the money to pay for the streets. We have a big street problem. It's been there for a long time, and nothing is being done. Now, I hope we have an election every month, because it seems like every time there's elections, they fill a few holes up on the streets. So something has to be done about it, and I'm going to do it. I'm not going to try to raise taxes. We got the money in there to do it. They don't know how to run their financial system. It will be done. And I'm going to say one more thing. It makes me very angry. He knows it. When I ran for mayor the first time, over and over, why are you not filling the holes in front of the Veterans Memorial? Those holes are worse than Chicago. If I have to pay myself and raise money to fill those holes in front of that Veterans Memorial, I'm going to do it. But it will be done by taxpayers' money that's already in the budget. I promise you that.
Thank you. I'm going to remind the crowd, please keep commentary, actually no commentary until the event is over. Thank you. We'll move on with Mayor Dickey.
Thank you. Just wanted to thank you for pointing out that this has been an ongoing problem ever since the corporation. When we lost our road district, which was a primary property tax, we also had a public safety district, a fire district. So those of us who've lived here a long time paid primary property taxes up until 2001 for the streets that you see in Fountain Hills. So this is something that has been coming for a very long time. In fact, we've had 4 property tax efforts fail. We've had a bond for Saguaro that did pass. We had another street bond for Palisades that failed. 3 councils increased sales taxes to partially bridge the gap. And we've tried stormwater fees, which to try to help with that infrastructure. We've tried a lot of different things, and right now it is absolutely true. After we did get this COVID money, we were able to put $5 5 and 2s, we put, well, even more, we put over $12 million, yes, into the streets. In fact, we used to put an average of about $3 million into the streets, and since I've been mayor, we've been putting $5.2 million into the streets, and we will continue to do that. There are different kinds of bonds that we can look at, but I think that the cuts that we would require to additional $5 million or so for 5 years or so, and all of these can be flexible, but that is too much of a cut to take away from the quality of life for us to think that we can extract that much every year out of the budget. Once we get to that equilibrium, we will be able to maintain the streets with our existing budget. Thank you.
Thank you. I won't make the same mistake again. Councilmember Friedel.
Thank you. So it depends on whether I agree with the Streets Commission. So let me throw out a couple of ideas. I suggested this the first year I was on the council, taking one road, major road that needs to be repaired in this town and shoving it over into our capital improvement project list. Had we done that 14 years ago, we'd have 14 roads that we don't have to worry about today. Well, maybe not, but you get my point. We could have addressed this a long time ago. Just take one road, make it a capital improvement project. I was glad to hear that we brought it up at least a couple of months ago at a council meeting. I had a couple of other suggestions. I finally got one done. Our HERF funds, highway user funds. We finally got that all dedicated to the streets fund. That should have been done years ago. An additional one that I talked about, we have a sweep from our general fund into capital improvement project.